Joining me now to discuss today's hearings and the ridiculous attacks from the left trying to cast doubt on Judge Barrett's background and skills is Texas Congressman, and I'm a huge fan of this guy, Dan Crenshaw. It's Dan squared. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Good to be with you.
We'll just call it the Dan Show tonight. I'm just going to give you the mic and let you go. You have been an outspoken individual since you took office, before you took office even, and I know that you never mince words. You just tell it like it is. You're a straight shooter. By the way, thank you for your service to this great nation. Talk to me about what you've been seeing now, just in the last 2 days with these hearings, your colleagues on the left and the right in this Senate subcommittee who are picking apart Judge Barrett's background and your feelings on what we're witnessing. Not as bad as the last one with Kavanaugh, but still, to me, a disgrace.
Sure. I'm not glued to the TV watching it. I'll be honest with you. I'm campaigning. So we're running from event to event. We're talking to voters. And it's fun to get back in the mix a little bit. But what I do know is this. Amy Coney Barrett is an exceptional judge, always has been, is well known for it. She understands the basic role of the judiciary, which is to interpret laws as they're written. This is a very simple concept that for some reason the left does not understand. They're obsessed with policy outcomes, which is great for legislators to be obsessed with. It is the job of the legislator, after all. But it is not the job of the judge. They believe it is the job of the judge. They believe that the judiciary branch should be an outgrowth of policymaking. This is a very dangerous way to govern. This is a very dangerous philosophy that the left holds. This is why they obsessively ask Amy Coney Barrett about how she would rule on certain cases, what her beliefs are on policy matters. These things do not matter. You know, it's even calling judges conservative or liberal is a bit of a misnomer. They either interpret the law as it's written or they don't. They either legislate from the bench or they don't. It just so happens that conservatives prefer judges that do not legislate from the bench. And so from the little I've seen, she's handled herself exceptionally. She's an incredibly smart woman, highly accomplished. I'm just really excited to see her get confirmed, and I think it will happen.
Yeah, I can't see any Republicans going against her. And it was interesting. I was watching some of the other lame stream media, as I call them, Dan, CNN, MSNBC. I hate giving them publicity, but I was watching them and their coverage. And even they and their commentators and their pundits and their anchors and hosts were saying today how poised she is, how credible she is. Her answers are flawless. And they've even been hearing on the Hill, I'm sure you've heard this, that some Democratic senators are saying, kind of like her, kind of might have to approve her. Now, they'll have to follow the party and probably vote against, but they know there's not a flaw there. There's nothing they can attack her on. All we see every day is them bringing up President Trump's tweets and bringing up the president and not really talking about her record, her history or anything. It's, are you going to overturn Roe v. Wade? Are you going to overturn gun rights? Are you going to overturn this, abortion, everything? Which that is not the job of the Supreme Court, which you just set out for us there. So I'm glad that we made that very, very apparent. Let's talk about your district, Texas, and all the great folks running down there. We've been following you and tracking you here at Real America, and you're supporting a lot of veterans and patriots out there to try and keep Texas red. Tell us about your campaign and the, 4 or 5 others that you're supporting big time there.
Yeah, and I wish we could add more to that list. You know, Texas Reloaded was a fun concept. I wish we'd come up with it maybe a year ago so that we could do it all over the country. Because, look, the reality is the GOP has the best bench of congressional candidates in its history. It's young, it's diverse, it's exciting. You're seeing all the best ads come out from GOP candidates. And they deserve to get elected. Unfortunately, this entire election seems to be about one man, and that's Trump. It's not even about Biden, as we all know. People are either for Trump or against him. So we'll see how it goes. But I am constantly imploring Americans, you've got to look at the policies being set forth and being put out by the Democrats. They're radical. They're cloaked in the language of compassion. But these are careless policies. They're not caring. They're careless. They would hurt Americans. Raise your taxes, raise your energy prices, open your borders, reduce your manufacturing, reduce your jobs, close your businesses. This is the policy platform of the left. And I'm imploring Americans, just listen to the Democrats. Don't. If you listen to one group of people during this election, listen to what the Democrats are saying and what they've passed out of the House of Representatives. Trust me, it's not what you want. I know, because when we poll people, they say that, right? America's still center right when it comes to policy preferences. But, you know, anyway, but back to your original question. Texas is doing well. I don't think Texans want the crazy policies of California. I think Texans know that Californians are moving to Texas in droves, and there's a reason.
That's right, by the thousands.
And, you know, that Texas Reloaded video has raised almost $1 million for these candidates. It's not enough, I'll tell you what, because Pelosi and her Democrats are funneling tons and tons of money into Texas. So please go to TexasReloaded.com and give what you can. It goes straight to these candidates that are trying to flip seats and hold really close seats.
Dan, I'm so glad you brought that up, because stay with us. We're going to roll that video in its entirety, because I saw this thing a couple weeks ago when you dropped it. This is a campaign video that Dan put together for himself and other, as you said, this young, diverse candidates in Texas that are running on the GOP ticket. It looks like a blockbuster movie trailer. I don't know what you spent on this ad, but I'll tell you what, I wanted to watch the movie. And we're literally watching it unfold come November 3rd. So we're going to roll this. It's called Reloaded. And then, Dan, stick around. I want to chat with you a little bit more after.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Texas. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional team of congressional candidates. They must be courageous, patriotic, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. The nation's future is dependent upon your success.
You still know how to fly one of these things? Dan Crenshaw. I'm putting a team together, Wesley. You in?
You know I wouldn't miss this for the world, right? Wait. I think August is going to want to come too.
You guys looking for a real pilot? Let me get cleaned up.
You're an F-22 pilot. What were you doing working under a helicopter?
I have no idea what I was doing, but typical Air Force fixing the Army's problems.
This guy, Dan, bro, you could have just texted me, man. Why you gotta jump out of an airplane? It's would have been way
Because
easier.
it's cooler to jump. Never mind.
God, come here.
And I want to thank these officers for a job well done.
Hey, Beth, when you're finished over there, Texas could use your help.
What the?
Hey, Tony, Texas has a better use for your talents.
Hey guys, who's next?
No.
I got this.
I'm looking around for my popcorn, Dan. I need some popcorn and a soda. I literally feel like I'm in the movie theater. I'll tell you, if that doesn't energize voters in Texas to get out and vote for you and this other huge, wide, diverse selection for candidates on the Republican ticket, I don't know what will. And I totally agree with you. We've been doing this now since Real America came on the air a little over a month ago on One America. We are profiling Republican candidates across this country. We've got one coming up from Ohio. And I want to do the same with those folks running in Texas with you. So hopefully you'll help us connect the dots with all of them. I want to get them on. I want folks to see and hear directly from their mouths the message that the Republican Party is sending. And I, for one, think it's good versus evil. I'm not trying to get biblical here on anybody, but you look at the policies that the left's putting forward, you look at what's coming out of their mouths, you look at how they won't even condemn Antifa, and you look what conservatism stands for and what Republicans stand for and what you stand for, Dan, and I say this is the righteous way, this is the right way to keep going. Sir, your final thoughts. They're wrapping me up. I know you got a book out, by the way. I haven't read it yet. Fortitude.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I wrote that book, Fortitude, American Resilience in the Era of Outrage, it's a culture war book. I mean, fundamentally, your average voter isn't looking at these policy platforms. I wish they would. I think that these matter quite a bit. I think that's how you should vote. But I also know that that's not what people are looking at. Fundamentally, these are cultural questions, and there's a big cultural question coming up, and that's the story of America. The Story of America is the name of the last chapter in my book. It's largely apolitical. So this last chapter talks about political philosophy just a little bit. And the progressive story of America is one that would assume that America is evil, that is corrupt from within, that it is not a story worth telling. And they tell this ahistorical nonsense through things like the 1619 Project, through Howard Zinn's history. The story of America as an oppressor that you should hate, that you should despise, and that you should want a revolution against. That's what's happening. It's really concerning. And we want to be the party that teaches our kids to love America, not hate it.
Dan, I couldn't agree with you more. I have nothing else to say on that matter. You're a vet. I'm a vet. I didn't serve this country. I'm sure you didn't. And go through what you have gone through to have the left wing, with the help of their left-wing media, push that narrative onto our children and tell them we should be apologists, that we should think our country is horrible, when by God, it's the greatest nation in the world. That's why millions every year jump a fence, try to go underground, across a river, whatever they got to do to try to get into this country. There must be a reason for it, right? We must be pretty damn good. Dan Crenshaw, appreciate you, man. Thank you for your service. You're welcome on anytime. I know you're a busy guy. Get back out there on the campaign trail.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Great to see you.
Nice seeing you. Thank you, sir. All right, so speaking of the left, Joe Biden, that's right, that's the left's candidate. He fumbled over his words once again. Now let's set this up. Back in February, recall, the presidential candidate said that he was running for the Senate. Well, can you believe it? He did it again. That's right. Just yesterday, he said he's running for United States Senate. Oh, JoJo. Come on, man. Are you guys sure on the left and the mainstream media this is the guy you want to run our country? Take a look.
Bill Clinton to the presidency, and you're the ones that sent Barack Obama to the presidency. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over if you like what you see. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate.
Wow. So that's 3 times this year. He doesn't know what office he's running for. Plus, he couldn't remember Mitt Romney's name, which pretty sure he ran against him with President Obama in 2012, right? Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan ticket. Remember that one, JoJo? And couldn't remember where he was at yesterday, too. Again, this is the guy that could be in charge of the nuclear codes. Just saying. All right, straight ahead on Real America, he's the man behind uncovering the ballot harvesting that's going on in Minnesota and countless other undercover investigations blowing the lid off of scandal after scandal. We're going to sit down and chat with Project Veritas's James O'Keefe. Don't go away.